Good morning, America. The House will vote today on a resolution to condemn President Trump's racist comments directed at members of Congress. The 4 American congresswomen targeted by the president's racist Twitter storm told to go back to their countries, now firing back.
This is the agenda of white nationalists.
President Trump digs in.
It doesn't concern me because many people agree with me.
As Democrats in Congress gear up for a vote to condemn the statements.
Summer soaker and scorcher. The new flooding alert as Barry moves northeast. And the major heat wave on the way. Temperatures nearing 100 degrees from Kansas City to Chicago and Philly.
Concert chaos. 10,000 concertgoers fleeing the flames as this major forest fire closes in on one of the biggest hip-hop festivals in the world.
Amazing rescue and reunion. The California mother who vanished while camping, saying she was chased by a man with a knife, now finally found. She's telling her story on GMA this morning, how she survived.
Chicago on edge as authorities search for Chance the Snapper. First seen a week ago, now missing for days. The area shut down and a Florida trapper called in.
And jumbo jelly, the stunning sight in the sea. The moment a diver runs into this rare giant jellyfish and how she kept her cool.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
My goodness, good morning, America. And it is a big morning. The Emmy nominations are going to be coming out, and it's a big year for your show.
We certainly hope it is. Winter may have come and gone, but 'tis the season for awards. And yes, I think the Emmy should go to Game of Thrones.
We'll see what happens.
We knew that vote was coming. Those awards coming up later this morning. First, the fallout from President Trump's racist tweets targeting 4 congresswomen. The president is not backing down as Democrats prepare to vote to officially condemn his comments. We're covering all the angles this morning. Cecilia Vega starts us off at the White House. Good morning, Cecilia.
George, good morning to you. Not only is the president not backing down, he is re-upping his attacks to those 4 American congresswomen. His message is crystal clear. If you don't like it here, leave.
The 4 Democratic congresswomen at the center of a political firestorm this morning are firing right back.
This is the agenda of white nationalists. Whether it is happening in chat rooms or it's happening on national TV, and now it's reached the White House garden.
The group united against the president and his racist tweets telling them to go back where they came from.
Sadly, this is not the first, nor will it be the last time we hear disgusting, bigoted language from the president.
All women of color, all American citizens, 3 of them born in the United States. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a Somali refugee, has lived in this country since she was 12 years old. And in the wake of his attack, she turned it back on the president.
It is time for us to stop allowing this president to make a mockery out of our Constitution. It's time for us to impeach this president.
But President Trump is not backing down either. At the White House, he dug in.
They hate our country. They hate it, I think, with a passion. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. That's what I said in a tweet, which I guess some people think is controversial. A lot of people love it, by the way. A lot of people love it.
Among those who love it, white nationalists who are now praising the president's tweets. But President Trump said he doesn't mind.
Does it concern you that many people saw that tweet as racist and that white nationalist groups are finding common cause with you on that point?
It doesn't concern me because many people agree with me.
The congresswomen accusing the president of trying to distract from the issues facing the country.
This is a distraction, and we should not take the bait.
And Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez offering a stark message to the next generation.
I want to tell children across this country is that no matter what the president says, this country belongs to you. And it belongs to everyone.
So this firestorm is not likely to die anytime soon. The president heads to North Carolina on Wednesday for a campaign rally. He clearly plans to make this controversy part of his argument to say that Democrats are attacking his base on this one. And one campaign aide tells us that the president's strategy is to point out that many Democrats say terrible things about this country. And George, we can very much expect this one to be part of this race for 2020.
Yeah, the president wants us to keep on going. In a pretty distinct contrast to how the administration being dealt with inside the president's comments after Charlottesville. This time it appears, at least, that the president's team seems to have embraced these racist remarks as an effective political tactic.
Well, here's what I can tell you, publicly or privately, I'm not talking to anyone here in this White House, in this administration, who will offer a forceful defense of what the president said, but no one is willing to go on the record and say that these are racist, and that tells you a lot also. There was very much a sense here yesterday that the president wanted to get out in front of this one. You can see from this Washington Post picture his talking points that he brought with him out to the White House lawn. On those talking points, he said that this, and I should say that this was an event about Made in America. The president came out there prepared to address these in these tweets. He wanted to stress that the women have a record of saying anti-Semitic and anti-American things. You can see that there on that picture, George.
Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much. Let's bring in our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, for more on this. And Mary, we know House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is going to put a resolution on the floor today to condemn the president's remarks.
Yeah, George, House Democrats are trying to send a very clear message here. They do plan to vote tonight on this resolution that, quote, strongly condemns President Trump's racist comments, saying they have, quote, legitimized and increased fear and hatred of new Americans and people of color. Now, this is largely a symbolic move, and while Republicans, some say the Democrats here are simply playing politics, Democrats say they feel the need to send that strong message and that they are trying to get Republicans to go on the record here, to force them to have to say where they stand on the president's remarks.
Yeah, Republicans have not wanted to speak out on this at all.
George, we have reached out to every single Republican in Congress, and so far the majority of them still are not commenting. And those who are offering a pretty muted response. Just a handful of Republicans here on the Hill have been willing to condemn the president's remarks. Even fewer are calling them racist. Tim Scott, the party's only African American in the Senate, called them unacceptable and racially offensive. Mitt Romney says they are destructive and dangerous. But Mitch McConnell, the top Republican in the Senate, George, still has not said a word about the president's remarks. Now, that is expected to change at his press conference here this afternoon. But, George, this just goes to show how far this Republican Party has now lined up behind the president and how loath they are to cross him.
It is his party. Mary Bruce, thanks very much, Robin.
And, George, as we heard, white nationalists are praising the president. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has more on that. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, good morning. Today, there's evidence sinister organizations are embracing the president's comments and are trying to use them to energize their movement. The Anti-Defamation League tracks the activity of white supremacists and neo-Nazis. The league has identified a number of leaders in these hate groups who were very animated on social media about the president telling these 4 women of color to leave the country. One such leader was thrilled by the president's tweet saying, quote, "This is the kind of white nationalism we elected him for." All this, as FBI officials tell us, that since October, there's been a 30% increase in terror cases involving people who advocate for the supremacy of the white race, Robin.
Many keeping an eye on that. And Pierre, turning to immigration, we know that the Trump administration is issuing a new rule that could in place that would effectively end asylum claims for a vast number of migrants arriving to the U.S. from Mexico.
That's right. The new rule basically tells immigrants coming from Central America that they must seek asylum in at least one country as they travel north before they can apply for asylum here in the U.S. Expect another legal fight over this one, Robin.
Expect that. All right, Pierre. Thank you. Amy?
All right, Robin, we're going to turn now to that slow-moving storm Barry causing problems as it heads north. And this morning, we're also watching extreme heat on the way from the plains to the Midwest to the East Coast. Ginger is tracking it all. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Amy. A lot to cover this morning. We begin with pictures out of Louisiana. Now we know that there's been almost 2 feet of rain that has fallen, more than 23 inches. You can see the result there, just neighborhoods fully underwater. That's with the tail of this system. So Barry's still moving north, the center now up in Missouri. And you can see the tail with a flash flood emergency. Nashville, Arkansas has had 8 inches of rain already. Highways are covered in water this morning, and we have flash flood warnings all the way up and watches up to Illinois and even Paducah, Kentucky. So keep an eye on the water there in the middle of the country. But watch this. The jet stream is high, and that's going to allow heat to build anywhere from Los Angeles, where it's very hot, to Chicago, where you could see your hottest stretch of 100 plus in 7 years. Look at the feels like 106 on Thursday, Kalamazoo, Michigan 100 Birmingham, Washington, D.C. could see the hottest stretch that they've had in 3 years. And we're going to keep it. Look, through Saturday is really when the core of this heat settles in. Philadelphia 106, New York City on Saturday could feel like 109 degrees. This after the blackout of last weekend. Con Ed is worried that this will be affecting a lot of people's air and electricity, so please take it down down a degree or two, guys.
Will do. All right, Ginger, thank you. Now to that massive fire sparking evacuations at a music festival overseas. 10,000 concert goers forced to flee the flames in Croatia at one of the most popular hip-hop shows in the world. Diane Macedo has those details for us. Good morning, Diane.
Robin, good morning. That fire broke out just outside the Fresh Island Festival on the island of Pag in Croatia. It's the biggest hip-hop beach festival in Europe. Cell phone video shows concert goers running from the beach as flames light up the sky behind them. But getting all those people back to their hotels was extra hard because, as the festival tweeted, they had to shut down the road to town and wouldn't let the buses through. Concert goers instead were sent to a parking area, but thankfully fire officials say that fire is now under control. The roads are open, everyone is safe, and nobody was even injured, Robin.
Oh, great to hear that. But what about the festival? What happens now?
Well, the organizers tweeted that they'll update everyone as soon as possible. Tyga was among those set to perform yesterday. Stefflon Don is among those set to perform tonight. So organizers are hoping that the show can go on, but they want to make sure it's safe. The other big question, Robin, is what caused this fire. Officials don't know yet, but an investigation is underway.
Good to hear. Diane, thank you.
Well, that was a scary scene. We're going to move on now to that dramatic bail hearing for Jeffrey Epstein, where he came face to face with two women accusing him of sex trafficking. They pleaded with the judge to deny bail, keep Epstein behind bars. Our chief national correspondent Tom Llamas here with the details. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. A judge says he will deliver his final decision on Thursday whether Jeffrey Epstein gets bail. But some stunning moments inside of court. Two accusers, as you mentioned, facing off with Epstein as prosecutors revealed new information, some of which rocked the courtroom.
Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein may be spending more time behind bars. His legal team arguing the multi-millionaire who has pleaded not guilty is not a flight risk. But in court, prosecutors responding with a bombshell. They say when federal agents raided his Manhattan mansion, they found inside of a locked safe piles of cash, dozens of diamonds, and an expired foreign passport with Epstein's picture, but a different name and a stated residence in Saudi Arabia. The defense pressing on, stating Epstein's wealth is not a reason to keep him locked up, citing Ponzi king Bernie Madoff and former Enron CEO Jeff Skilling as high-profile, mega-rich defendants who were granted bail. But the judge pointing out this case is different, allowing two of Epstein's alleged victims to testify in court. Courtney Wild telling the judge Epstein sexually abused her when she was 14 and that he's, quote, a scary person to have walking the streets.
It's about your voice being heard. It's about people, being held accountable for their actions, justice being served and doing it for yourself.
Annie Farmer told the judge she was 16 when she met Epstein in New York. He then paid for her to travel to New Mexico, where on his sprawling estate called Zorro Ranch, she claims he was sexually inappropriate with her.
These were girls who were procured, transported across state lines. This was as commercial a sex trafficking operation as you can imagine.
Now, one of Epstein's biggest clients for years was the CEO of L Brands, which owns Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works, billionaire Les Wexner. Wexner sent this internal memo to employees, quote, when Mr. Epstein was my personal money manager, he was involved in many aspects of my financial life, but let me assure you that I was never aware of the illegal activity charged in the indictment. George.
And Tom, we learned a lot more about Mr. Epstein's financial life as well. Not a billionaire, but a very wealthy man.
Right, and at first this was sealed. This was unsealed yesterday, so we're getting a closer look at how much he's actually worth. But this financial form was described as cursory because it lacks so much detail. Here's some interesting points. He's worth more than $500 million. This according to him. Some points of reference, he has more than $56 million cash on hand, nearly $200 million invested with hedge funds, and one of his islands, remember he has two, but one of his islands, Little St. James, has a value worth of more than $63 million.
What a dramatic moment in the courtroom when that passport is revealed. Hard to imagine he's getting bail after you see that.
The courtroom and the overflow courtroom were both stunned. You could hear like, whoa, like nobody could believe when prosecutors revealed that. It also shows prosecutors have a couple aces up their sleeves that they have not revealed yet.
More to come.
Yep.
Tom Llamas, thanks very much. Amy?
All right, thanks. Now to protests erupting in Puerto Rico, thousands taking to the streets, calling for their embattled governor to resign as he faces accusations of corruption. Police firing tear gas and pepper spray at the crowd. The protest came hours after hundreds of pages of a private private chat were leaked showing the governor making profane and sexist comments. This also comes amid growing frustration over the government's handling of Hurricane Maria. The governor, however, says he will not resign.
Very tense times there. Going to turn now to a big morning for entertainment. The Emmy nominations are today, and the final season of Game of Thrones expected to get plenty of nods. Already has Amy's nod. Chris Conley is in L.A. with a preview for us. Good morning, Chris.
And good morning, Robin. You know, the sheer volume of shows in this era of peak TV means that standing out is harder than ever. Still, look for a flock of buzzed-about newcomers to join those familiar performers and shows when the Emmy nominations are announced today. Its end-of-season storytelling swerve didn't delight everyone, but even so, past winner Game of Thrones should rack up a Best Drama Series nomination for its blood-drenched farewell, with Peter Dinklage, Emilia Clarke, and Kit Harington among those in the mix for acting nods, while Peabody Award winner Pose could earn its first Emmy nomination.
That's our culture on MTV. We about to go mainstream.
Last year's winner in Best Comedy Series, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, likely to get another bite of the apple, along with the final season of Veep.
And then you open the door to him like you almost forgotten he's coming over.
Writer star Phoebe Waller-Bridge, likely to stand alongside moms Allison Janney, and Emmy OG Julia Louis-Dreyfus in Best Comedy Actress.
The Chinese are ready to fix this whole damn election.
In Best Comedy Actor, returning champ Bill Hader from Barry may vie against Don Cheadle, surprise, from Black Monday, and Anthony Anderson of Blackish.
I am proud of you and your new summer job as a Twitter nerd.
And can Sandra Oh from Killing Eve win Best Drama Actress, in which Julia Roberts from Homecoming and Laura Linney from Ozark also warrant mention? Here's a knife fight with the haunting Chernobyl, Ava DuVernay's instant sensation When They See Us,
Doing us like this.
and the dazzling Fosse Verdon, all eligible. One name that no one's heard yet, that of a host for the Emmys, leading to speculation that the Television Academy may take a page from the Oscar script and just do without. And remember that The Handmaid's Tale, Stranger Things, and Big Little Lies not eligible for series nominations this year because they each debuted their new seasons after the end of May. Though a few guest performances from Handmaid's Tale Season 2 could grab a nom or two, Robin.
So what categories which we may see some new faces, do you think?
And I think the drama categories are wide open. You have all those shows that aren't up this year, The Crown's not up this year, The Americans. So that opens up things for shows like Pose or Succession. We're going to see what happens. It should be fun.
It always is. Always is with you, Chris. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. We're following a lot of other stories this morning. Coming up next, this mother who went missing while hiking. She was lost in the wilderness for days. She's going to tell her story on GMA, saying she escaped a man with a knife. Also tells us how her dog helped keep her alive.
And the search for the gator that is putting Chicago on edge. But first, let's go back to Ginger.
Seems wrong, doesn't it? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with something that is so normal for this time of year in Minnesota. That would be severe weather. There's actually a tornado reported, and then this damage in Belle Plaine, Minnesota. So that was likely from winds, but they're going to do the survey today. You can look for more of that action out in the plains, anywhere from Rapid City to Pierre. Scotts Bluff included today for the damaging wind. Just wanted to note, too, with and before the heat comes what's left of Barry plus a front. That's a lot of rain, 2 to 4 inches up in parts of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and of course New York. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the Tuesday Trivia is sponsored by Progressive.
And that's your basic three-point turn?
If you say so.
I'm sorry?
What Pete sure isn't telling you is that Snapshot rewards safe drivers with discounts on car insurance.
What?
Or maybe he didn't know. I'm done with this class.
You're not even enrolled in this class.
I know I'm supposed to be in ceramics.
Room
Do you know?
308.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody.
Grab the sunglasses today, and don't forget the water. Extra water needed today. Once again, we're back over 90 degrees, but with higher humidity, those feel-like temperatures will be in the upper 90s for today. And there could be an isolated shower or storm, but we're halfway through this heat wave, 6 more days after today, and dangerous heat in the forecast. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with those temperatures riding close to 99 to 100 degrees, and a chance of a passing shower or storm on Sunday.
Just starting your Tuesday morning with us. My favorite day of the week. Not. We'll be right back.
is living with metastatic breast cancer.